Well, this should be a fun and hopefully relaxing day. Obviously, it's a bit of a change of scenery today, but we have a lot of stuff that we need to clean. So let's start off. We got the rub rail, and we have the aluminum piece that goes on the rub rail. As you can see, we have our teak wood rod holder gunnel things, and I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna sand down. I gotta retrofit the rod holder onto this because, as you can tell, it's a little bit raised up, and I want to see just how the rod holder fits on this, and if I really need to take this down to level or if I can leave it just like that. All this is just wear and tear over the past 30 some odd years on salt water and water just eating away at it, and, you know, just slowly but surely. Teak wood and all, but still, if you don't properly maintain this, it can go bad. So I think we're still good on this. I'll be able to restore it. And then we have our little outer liner for our console. This just kind of goes around the edge, cover the screws that are drilled in, I believe. And then we have our bow rail. Right here. And then a few extra pieces, whereas some more extra pieces are in there, like that piece and whatnot. We have our steering wheel. It's really not bad at all. I don't even know if I need to touch this, but I may, just for fun, because I have polisher. So we also have some cleats. We also have some anchor. I forget what these are called in all honesty, but that goes up in the bow, kind of for the anchor line, right? And then we got the rod holders that go right here. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be, maybe I'll touch it a little bit, but I ain't too worried about that tiny gap that's there. I don't know if y'all can even tell. Once I screw that in, it's not that big of a deal. But you can also see in here that we have these Scotch-Brite pads. I'm going to use WD-40 and the Scotch-Brite to really clean off all the aluminum. Then we have the MAG aluminum polish. And then we have our teak wood restoration kit. At least that's how it was advertised, so yeah. I got some sanding blocks as well, but I'm gonna just put down the camera and get to work. I'll talk to y'all if I need to.
So getting the aluminum looking pretty is a two-step process the way I understand it. And this process is using the Scotch-Brite pads and the WD-40 to just get off any dirt or grime or whatever to get us a nice aluminum brushed finish is effectively what it'll leave it as. And then we will go on to the aluminum polish that I just showed you. But when I was doing this, I actually found something pretty cool.
Check this out. Everest. Made in Taiwan, Republic of China. That's what it says under here. This is a 30 some odd. This is from 1983, give or take. Before, after. You can see there too, this looks a little more brushed than this. This is a little more polished, but we'll get to the polish later. So this is after, this is before, but I'm just trying to get any gunk off, any marks like that off. Then I'll be able to go back through and polish it.
And then just a lot more of the same, cleaning this off in order to get it right for polish.
All right, so I don't really want my camera to die before I get to some of the wood stuff and some of the polishing. So for right now, I still have to do the grab rail as well as the rest of the bow rail and then that rub rail deal right there. But look at how everything looks after. Before the polish, but after just the WD-40 and the Scotch-Brite. And then I would come through with a rag. This happens to be a microfiber, doesn't really matter, and just get off all the gunk that was there. So I'm actually going to, after I do all this, I'm going to just polish up one of these. I'm going to take one, polish it up, and then I'm going to take the other, and I'm going to go ask Molly, my wife, which one she likes better, because I don't know. Maybe I like the polished look better, but this brushed look, like it's kind of like a matte look, like I kind of really like it. So I don't know. We'll see. Ooh. Melty.
This is my first time using this stuff, so I'm just trying to figure it out. First time polishing aluminum, period. So just trying to figure it out. But I don't really think there's an appropriate looking way to go about polishing aluminum rods.
I'm actually liking this one more. I mean, it just looks better. This looked real good compared to the dirty, like what it was before. But now this looks real good compared to what it was before, which is this. So definitely, can y'all even see that? Definitely going to polish everything up.
And just more of the same, just trying to get this aluminum looking nice and clean and polished.
All right, so this is how they turned out. Some better than others, but all just about the same. And I must admit, I'm pretty stoked. Then you can see, obviously the full bow rail here. You can see how shiny that is, especially up here. And then you can kind of see on, let's take this piece right here. You know, that's what it was like before, basically, because that's the inside. I didn't really focus on that too much. And on the outside, I even hit this with the polish as well, where I guess on some areas you can kind of see. Yeah, not too bad. I mean, this isn't perfect, but like, I don't plan on buying a new one. I'm just going to put that back on even though it's split up. Unless I can find one for cheap, but probably not. Oh, also did the steering wheel. I did not do the Scotch-Brite on the steering wheel though. Scotch-Brite and WD-40, all I did was the polish, and that's it. And that's how it looks. So this is the teak wood before. As you can see, weathered, ugly, any other adjective that you can describe wood, and that is old. And there is a mockingbird chasing a crow. Anyway, so that's what it looks like. So first and foremost, I am going to sand this wood. You can already see some of the high points right there, but I'm going to spare the battery of this camera. I just want to show you a little bit of each step. So that's what I'm going to do, is sand the wood all on the outside. Probably a little bit on the inside too. I'll wash it down. I have this 1 part cleaner, teak cleaner, 1 part, or 5 parts water. I didn't actually measure it, but let's just assume it's equal. Ooh, there we go. You can see this. I'm actually going to take it right here, wash it off. Oh crap, I forgot. On the top, I actually wiped it off with an absorbent cloth. That's what it wanted to, so a rag. That's what it wanted me to do. So that's what I did on the top. Forgot to do it on the bottom, but that's okay. Doesn't seem like that big of a deal. Look at the color change. Underneath, it's crazy brown. Up top, not quite there yet, but looks pretty good. All right, so the teak cleaner is what I just used, and that was a 1 cleaner to 5 water. And now I'm going to be using the teak brightener, which is 1 to 1. I already have 1 water in there. You're supposed to wear gloves doing this, so make sure y'all use gloves. And I'm going to add what I can. I think that's good. Good enough for government work, even though this is not government work. I doubt it really matters. On a lint-free cloth, you just let it roll. Yeah, and they would normally give you gloves, but they say because of the pandemic, they no longer give gloves. It's like, it's the end of June 2021. We should talk about it. You can get gloves anywhere, but y'all just don't want to include them because you're cheap. All right, so the next step is just straight up teak oil on this. I've allowed, the 10 minutes to dry. It's not completely dry, but it says 10 minutes. So I'm just gonna apply it anyway. I feel like it's not as bright as it probably should be. Maybe I should go back over it and clean it, but I did exactly what it said, so I'm just gonna throw this on there and see what happens. It'll be better than it was before. It did say soak it liberally. Just gonna throw a little bit on there. And also, this it says for best application, apply 3 coats. It also says to wait 4 to 6 hours to let it dry after like I wipe off the excess oil on this, but I don't know, we'll see. Alright, so I understand that I still have to let it dry and all, but I'm not too thrilled with how it turned out. Over here, this is a little better. I just don't think these were as bad as the other ones. Like, these look pretty good for right now, but here, I don't exactly know why. Maybe it's the way the sun's hitting it, I'm not sure. I'm not like completely dissatisfied, like it's much better than it was before, at least now. I don't know how it'll look when it dries, but I think if I didn't run out of sandpaper, or I didn't have sandpaper that got all gunked up on the fairing for the boat, for this thing, it would have been better because I would have taken this and I would have been able to really sand a lot of these grooves down. And I think that would have, I think that's the make or break. I think that would have really enhanced how this teak restoration went, but I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. That's what I'm gonna do. I'll apply more oil tomorrow, but for now I'm just gonna tidy up and then figure out what to do next.